So to help you with your review for your midterms, here's gonna be the video recording of your reviewer. Okay, so again, in your reviewer, it already have like the answers and then some explanations that you need. Okay, but again, if that won't still be enough, okay, this reviewer is for you. Okay, so let's continue. So there. Okay, so first question in the reviewer. So what is the slope of the equation? Okay, so to answer this question here, take note that we're actually using our slope-intercept form here, and the slope-intercept form is written as y is equal to mx plus b. Okay, y is equal to mx plus b. There you go. Okay, so following that template, again, we're asking about the slope. Sir, what do you mean? What do you mean slope? Okay, again, when you say slope, that one is being represented by the letter m. Okay, that means to say we're gonna be determining what's the value of m. Again, and that one is actually the -3, the number before the x. Okay, so the answer here is -3. This question is so simple, right? Okay, so next one. So next question. What is the x coordinate of the point where the y-axis and the graph of an equation intersects? Okay, intersect the equation. Okay, we have the equation here, y is equal to 8x minus 14. Okay, so actually this question is kind of what they call this one. Very easy. Why? Because whatever is gonna be the equation here, there's always just gonna be one answer or the same answer all throughout. So why? Because it's asking about what? The question is just asking what's the x value, okay, in the y-intercept, because it's asking, okay, let's say this is our graph, okay, and then that's our x and y axis, and then I'm not gonna be graphing the exact graph, but let's say this is our representation of that graph. The y is equal to 8x minus 14. It says here, what's the x coordinate of the point wherein the y-axis, okay, you know the y-axis, it's the vertical line. This one here is our y-axis, and the graph intersects. Okay, so what's the x coordinate on that point? And actually, to simplify things again, that one is the y-intercept, right? When you say y-intercept, it is a point on the y-axis wherein the line intersected, and the value of x there is always gonna be 0. Again, it's always gonna be 0. Okay, that's how we define y-intercept. Y-intercept, it is a point wherein the value of x is always 0. So the answer here is actually 0. So it's like whatever's gonna be the equation here, the answer is always just gonna be 0. And I hope this one is clear. Next one. Which of the following represents a proportional relationship? Okay, so I hope you can still recall about the difference between proportional and non-proportional relationship. But to distinguish the two in simpler way, an example or the way we should write a proportional relationship is like this. Y is equal to, let's put a number. Let's say 2x. This one is a proportional relationship. What else? Let's say y is equal to -1/3 x. Okay, that's still a proportional relationship. Now, sir, what about the non-proportional? Okay, now let's just put here some label. So this one is proportional. Okay, and then the other one, let's do some comparison again. Non-proportional. So example of that would be y is equal to 2x, but this time there's like let's say a +3 like that, or +4, -5, -1 like that. And another example, y is equal to -1/3 x. So you have here -7. So these are the examples of non-proportional. Okay, That's non-proportional. Okay. So given the choices, which one is a proportional? Okay, which one? Actually, I guess it's so obvious, right? The proportional relationship here is the letter B. Okay, because this one, it has a minus 0.5. This one, it has a minus 1. The D, it's just nothing. Okay, so let's proceed. Which of the following represents a non-proportional? So same thing a while ago again, non-proportional, there should be like a plus 3, minus 7, plus 2 like that. Let's check. So non-proportional, so simple. Again, considering the previous example a while ago, the answer for this one should be letter C. Y is equal to 5x minus 1. Okay? I hope you can see now the difference between proportional and non-proportional. Okay, so next one. What is the y-intercept of the graph shown below? Okay, sir, what do you mean again when you say y-intercept? Okay, let's discuss at the same time as well the x-intercept. So let's discuss them at the same time. And let's see how they differ. Okay, so when you say y-intercept, it is the point wherein the equation, or sorry, the graph of the equation, on this case, it's the yellow line, okay? That's the graph of the equation. It is the point wherein the graph intersected or intersects the y-axis. That one, that is the what we call y-intercept. And actually, the answer here is what? Is the answer here? Simply, actually, the answer could be 0, 5, or we can just put there 5. But let's say we just asked here like, what's the value of the x-intercept? The x-intercept, it is the point wherein the line touches the x-axis. So that you can see the difference. So this is your x-intercept. Although in this case, the value of the x-intercept here is not exact. As you can see, it is a point between 6 and 7. So it could be like 6.2 or 6.3. Okay. Anyway, going back to the question, y-intercept. So the answer here is going to be the 5. I hope it's clear already. Next one. What is the y-intercept? Again, same question, y-intercept. When you say y-intercept, it's the value, or it is the point wherein the line, this line here, the green line, touches the y-axis. Okay. And that is on this point. Again, the answer could be already the 0, negative 2. Okay, but considering the choices, we can just put there the negative 2. Okay, next one. What is the missing output value on the table below? Okay, so actually in this one, there's already like a longer version of the solution in your Canva reviewer, right? So this time, let's just try to, what they call this one, try to approach this one a bit differently and a bit shorter. Okay, actually this one is like has something to do with some pattern. Okay, but to do this one better, let's solve first our slope. And I am hoping you still recall how do you solve your slope using 2 points, because actually again, just to recall with you, how do we solve slope? Okay, we actually need the formula for m, the y sub 2 minus y sub 1. I'll just write it here. Y sub 2 minus y sub 1 all over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And then how many points do we need? Again, we just need 2 points, and it could be any 2 points. And in this case, actually, we have like 3 options. 1, 2, and 3. The 12 and then the blank, we cannot use that one because it's not yet, the value of y is not yet known. So let's say we just use the 5 and 13 and then the 7, 17. So those are our 2 points. Again, I will just rewrite it. We have 5, 13. And then the other one is 7, 17. Okay, so again, this is x, y, x, and then y. So I told you last time, so to make it a bit, easier, I will really suggest that you make the bigger numbers, which are the 7 and 17 as your sub 2. So this will be sub 2, sub 2, and the other are sub 1, sub 1. Okay, so now using the formula, let's solve first for the slope. So it will be, what's the value of your y sub 2? So m is equal to, the y sub 2 is what? 17. So we have here 17 minus, what's the value of y sub 1? Y sub 1 is 13. All over, what's the value of our x sub 2? The x sub 2 is 7. Okay, minus, what's the value of x sub 1? X sub 1 is 5. So we have now this one. So 17 minus 13, of course you know that. That's going to be 4. Over 7 minus 5 is 2. You simplify. That's going to be 2. Okay, so the value of our m, or the slope, is 2. Sir, what's the purpose of that 2 there? Okay. Actually, in the version, okay, in the solution, in the Canva reviewer, the solution is kind of long, right? But let's try a different approach. Using this slope here 2, let's solve the value of the missing output here, or the missing value of y. Now, how do we do it, sir? Okay, so as you can see here, there, as you can see on the x, okay, from 5 it turns to 7, right? Okay, it turns to 7. So what happened there? So from 5 going to 7, we actually added 2, right? We moved 2. I mean, we jumped 2 times. Okay, 5 plus 2, that's gonna be 7. So, sir, what's the purpose of that one then? Well, so from 5 to 7, again, that's gonna be 2. Do you remember your slope? What's your slope? Your slope is 2, right? It just happened that you're the same number. But if you will multiply this, the difference between 7 and 5 by the slope, what's the slope again? 2. If you will multiply that and the slope, which is 2, 5 times 2 is what? 4. What's 13 plus 4? 17. So you get the 17. One more. Okay. Let's say we compare from 7 to 21. Let's see what happened. From 7 to 21, what did we add? We added 14, right? Okay, I will put the values here. 7, 17. And then 21, 45. I will just show you what was happening. Okay, from 7, it becomes 21. So what happened? We actually added 14. What's our slope again? Our slope is 2. What's 14 times 2? Again, it's times 2. 14 times 2 is 28, right? Now, what happened is actually that 28 is added here. What's 17 plus 28? That's 45. So what I'm saying is, by just doing that one, actually, we can solve for this value here. So this time, what we will do, we will solve it already. So from 7 and then 17, we jump to 12, right? Okay, there. Now we'll be determining what's the value here. Okay. So from 7 to 12, what happened? We added 5. So we multiply the 5 by our slope, which is 2. 5 times 2 is 10. So we will add here the 10. 17 plus 10, that's gonna be what? 27. And that's the answer. Letter C. So if you want to, you may like, what do you call this? Rewind the video here and then try to check again what happened and how did we get to 27. Okay? But still, if you want to, you may follow the solution or the longer version of the solution that is presented in your Canva reviewer. Okay? Next one. Okay, next question. What is the value of both the slope and then the y-intercept? Again, this question is so simple, right? Also, this is in your IXL. So, y is equal to 4x minus 12. Remember the template in right or our slope-intercept form? Our slope-intercept form is written as y is equal to mx plus b. What does it mean to say? It means to say the value of our b is negative 12 and the value of our m is 4. So the answer here should be what? It should be letter C. M is 4 and then b is negative 12. Okay, next one. What is true about the slope of the graph? Okay, let's check the choices. It has a positive slope. Again, I hope you can still remember this. But if our line is like slanting to the right like this, the slope is actually positive. Okay, so that's why the first choice is already correct. But let's check the other one. Okay, letter is B. It has negative slope. That's wrong already. Again, it should be positive. Its slope is 0. Okay, about that one, let's compare the four slopes. Okay, positive, negative, 0, and undefined. So when you say, I will just throw it on the right side so that we can compare them. But again, the answer here is already the letter A, right? But just to show you, okay, this is how it looks like. When you say positive slope, the graph would look like this. Okay, and then when you say negative slope, the graph looks like this. When you say now 0, the graph looks like this. It's horizontal. And then when you say undefined, the graph looks like this, vertical line. I hope that one is clear already. Anyway, again, the answer here, it should be letter A, which is positive. Next one. So as I mentioned a while ago, this one is slanting to the left. So the slope here should be negative. Next. Okay. So next one. Let's say Tyler is doing his IXL at a constant rate. Wow. After 3 days, he finished 15 math IXL. That's good. At what rate did... Okay. This one is still Tyler. What happened here? Sorry. Is Tyler doing his IXL? Okay, this one is actually about... This question is like so simple. Also, sir, how will I know the formula here? Or like, how will I know what to do? Actually, the solution is already in the choices, in the answers. The units of your solutions is like IXL per day, okay? IXL per day. Okay, does it mean, sir? Actually, this one can also be written as IXL per day. This is how we sometimes write the word per, right? It's like, you're actually just what? Isn't it that one looks also as IXL over day? Right? So how many IXLs are there in the problem? There are like 15. So 15 over how many days is given? 3. So simply, what's that? It's gonna be 5, right? That's it. So the answer here is letter B. So sometimes if you don't know what to do in the problem or in the question, simply you can take a look at the units of the answers. So that's letter B. Okay? Next one. The table of values below represent which equation? Okay. So this one is about already writing linear equation. So what we do, again, as I told you before, for us to write an equation, we need to solve for m and then the b. Okay, let's do this. So how do we do it again? How do we solve for m? We have a formula, right? Using 2 points. Let's say we will select. Okay, I told you last time, right? As much as possible, you select the smaller and then positive values. Although, yeah, we can select here the 2 and 3. But all the rest are already, it has negatives, right? So we can just select any. Let's say we selected 5 and negative 3. Again, by the way, if with whatever points you will select here, you will just come up with the same answer. Okay? So what's our formula again for m? M is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 all over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Okay? So, sir, how do we know again the values of x and y? Remember a while ago, we selected 2 points. We have the 2, 3, and then we have the 5, negative 3. There. Take note again, this is x and y, Now, sir, which one should be my sub 2? Is it the left one? Is it this or this? Actually, in this case, we cannot actually decide which one is like bigger or smaller, right? Because they're just like the same thing. So whatever you want, it's okay. Let's say you wanted to make the first one as your sub 2. It's also okay. So let's say this is sub 2, sub 2, sub 1, sub 1. Okay. Now, Whatever you do, let's say you did the first one as sub 1, sub 1, or sub 2, sub 2, it's okay. You'll just have the same answer. Now, let's replace the values. What's the y sub 2? Y sub 2 is 3. I'll put here 3. And then the formula says minus. I'll put here minus. What's the value of y sub 1? Y sub 1 is negative 3. Take note, the minus sign there, and then the negative 3 there. They have negative signs, right? They're different, okay? Please be careful. All over, what's the value of x sub 2? X sub 2 is 2. Minus, this one minus, right? Minus, what's the value of x sub 1? X sub 1 is 5. There. So now what do you have? So 3 minus negative 3, what will happen? Negative, negative. Or minus, minus, it will become plus. So far we have here 3 plus 3 over 2 minus 5. And what's 3 plus 3? It's going to be 6. And 2 minus 5, it's going to be negative 3. If we will divide that, okay, there's only one negative sign, right? So automatically our answer should be negative. And 6 divided by 3 is 2. That's why our m, or the slope, is actually negative 2. Now, at this point, we need to solve for the value of b, right? The y-intercept. But actually, you can grab the opportunity or the benefit that your exam is actually multiple choice sometimes, right? So, if you will check the choices, A, B, C, and D, you check their slopes. What's the slope of letter A? 7. The slope of letter B is 2. C is 7, and then letter D is negative 2. Actually, only letter D has the correct slope, right? Which is negative 2. Well, that's already your answer. That's it. That's how you answer it, okay? You can grab the opportunity that your exam is actually a multiple choice. Let's continue. Okay, so again, this one is table of values. So the table of values below represent which equation? Okay. Which equation does it represent? Sir, do I need to still solve the y-intercept here? Okay, actually no need to solve the, again, the question is asking about writing equation, right? And I told you before, again, in writing an equation, we follow the template y is equal to mx plus b. And we need to solve for two things, m and then b. Okay? Now, what's the value of m? Well, we need to solve. How? We can use our formula. M is equal to, again, y sub 2 minus y sub 1. You should be familiar with this already, okay? Over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So, sir, what about, sir, the b? Well, you can solve the b later, although if the given is like this, as you can see, okay, please be observable. I mean, please be observant here. Actually, no need to solve for the b or the y-intercept. Because what do you mean by y-intercept again? When you say y-intercept, it is a point wherein the value of x is always 0. So that means to say, we already have the value of b. And that is what? That is negative 5, right? Again, I didn't solve anymore the value of b. B is already negative 5, right? Because, okay, when you say b or y-intercept, the value of x is always 0. It's always true, okay? Every time there's a table and then the value of x is 0, automatically the y there is already your y-intercept. So that means to say the answer should be like y is equal to mx minus 5. And if you will check again the choices, if you will check the b's, it's so obvious that there is already an answer. No need for you to solve for m. And the answer is already letter B. Why? Because among the choices, it's the only choice that has a minus 5 or a negative 5 as the value of B. Okay, if you think that's not clear, you can somehow rewind the video. Okay, next one. This one, find the y-intercept. Again, if you're gonna be asked the y-intercept and then on your table there is a 0 on the x, automatically the other number there, the y value, that's already your y-intercept. Okay, as simple as that. So the answer here is letter A, 7. Okay, Next one. Still, y-intercept. Basic, right? This is 10. Okay. There, oh, 10. Next. Okay, there you go. So this time, let's already include the portion or the part wherein we will have the computations for x. Okay. So let's say you have here 5x minus 2 is equal to 43. Okay. So this one here actually there are like different rules here or some different procedures or methods, techniques like that. But for me, I actually devised here a technique. Okay. There's like in solving for this algebra, okay, solving for values of x, values of y, or whatever variables that, there's always two rules that you need to follow, okay, or to consider. It is this. Okay, so there are two things, so positive and then solo. What does it mean? So for you to know the value of a certain variable, you should make sure that the variable is already positive and then solo on one side of the equation. Okay, let's say example. Let's say we have here 5x minus 2 is equal to 43. Don't worry, we have a lot of examples of this. So where's your variable? It's the variable, it's the x, right? Okay. Is the x already positive? Check, right? That's positive 5x. It's already positive. Okay. Next. Is the variable x already solo? When I say solo, is the variable x solo only on one side like this? So let's say x equals 7 like that. Solo. Is it already solo? The variable x is not yet solo. And sir, how do you make it solo? I mean solo on one side. What do you mean side, sir? Because our equation, there's an equal sign, right? Okay. This one here is the left side of the equation. And this is the right side of the equation. So you can make the variable x solo, let's say on the right side or left side is okay, as long as it's positive and solo. Now, what do? Again, we need to make the variable x solo. So the first thing we need to do is we need to remove the 2 here, the negative 2, through transposition. And if you will transpose the negative 2, what's the rule? If you will transpose a positive number from one side to the other side, the positive will become negative. And then if it's a negative, it will become positive. So same thing here. So we have now on the left side only we have 5x is equal to, I'll copy the 43. This time the negative 2 will become positive 2. So plus 2. So we have here 5x is equal to 45. There you go. Now are we done already? You check. Is the variable x already solo on the left side or on one side? It's not yet solo. Sir, why? Because so far, there is still the 5 beside the x. What do you need to do? We need to remove the 5. Sir, how? Well, if you will think about it, if you will divide the 5x by 5, what will happen? The 5 will be cancelled out. And what will be left here is only x. So, sir, is x already 45? No. Because on this case here, the rule of equality is that whatever you do on one side of the equation, you also do it on the other side. What does it mean? Okay, we divided the left side by 5. So same thing, we will also divide the right side by 5. And what's that? What's 45 divided by 5? That's 9. Sir, are we done already? Now, you ask yourself, is the variable x positive? Check, right? Solo. Is the variable x already solo on the left side or on the right side? Yes. So now you're done. The value of x is actually equal to 9. Okay, let's continue. Let's have more example. Next one. Okay, so this one is still solving for x. So 6x plus 12 is equal to negative 72. The question is, solve for x. So again, I will just write the two rules that I told you a while ago. This one, I just made them up. You can actually find this in any reference or book, but this one works. Okay, so we have here 6x plus 12 is equal to negative 72. There. So again, check, is the variable x already positive? There you go, it's positive already. But is the variable x already solo? Not yet. What do? First thing is, we need to remove the 12 here. How? We need to transpose that from left going to right. And again, our rule of transposition is that if we transpose a positive number, let's say positive 12, it will become negative 12. So we have now on the left side is 6x is equal to, I'll copy the negative 72. Again, that 12 will become negative 12. So now what do you have on the right side? Negative 72 minus 12. Sir, is that gonna be positive 84? No. Again, they are both negative, right? And the rule about that, since they're both negative, they're both depth, right? All in all, that's gonna be what? Negative 84. Are we done already? Not yet. The x is not yet solo. Okay, not yet solo. And what do? We need to remove the 6 beside the x. And how do we do that one, sir? We divide that one by 6. Because if you will divide 6x by 6, you can cancel out the 6. But again, the rule of equality, whatever you do on one side of the equation, you also do it on the other side. So you have now here, x is equal to, okay, by the way, there's only one negative sign, right? So the answer should be negative. Sir, what is 84 divided by 6? Okay, for those who are still confused, let's do it the longer version, okay? So 84 divided by 6. So 8 divided by 6 is going to be 1. 1 times 6 is 6. Subtraction, that's going to be 2. Bring down the 4. You have 24 divided by 6 is going to be 4. 4 times 6 is 24. There. So this is going to be negative 14. Now, is the variable x already solo? Okay, positive and solo? Yes. That's why we're done already. The value of x is negative 14. There you go. Let's continue. Okay. Okay, there you go. So, solve for x. So, negative 7x is plus 10 is equal to negative 67. Okay. Now, again, the two rules that we have. Make the variable x what? Positive. And then solo. Okay, just like it. Sir, is the variable x here already positive or solo? Is it positive and solo? Okay, positive first. Do you think the variable x here is positive? No. It's negative actually. Again, negative 7x is actually just one term. And that means to say, if 7 is negative, x is also negative. Okay? They're just one term. So, sir, how do I make the negative 7x positive then? Well, if you will actually transpose the negative 7x on the other side, isn't it, it will become positive, right? Okay, so we have now here 10 is equal to, I will not do transposition simultaneously, just one by one so that you won't be confused. 10 is equal to, I'll copy the negative 67. What will happen to negative 7x? It will become positive 7x. Okay, now is the variable x already positive? Yes. Solo. It's not yet solo on the right side because on the right side, there is still the negative 67. So you need to remove the negative 67 from right going to left. So what will happen to negative 67? It will become positive 67. So far on the left side, we have 10 and then positive 67 is equal to 7x. Combine like terms. So 10 plus 67, that's going to be 77 is equal to 7x. Sir, are we done already? Well, is the variable x already solo? Not yet. There's still a 7 here. And to do that, to remove that 1, divide it by 7. So you can cancel out the 7. But again, the rule of equality says, whatever you do on one side, you also do on the other side. So you have now 77 over 7, that's going to be 11, is equal to x. Or using the what we call symmetric rule, okay, law of symmetry, 11 is equals x is just the same thing with x is equal to 11. Because the proper way of doing this is that the variable should be written first. Now, is the variable x already positive and solo? Yes, we're done. So the answer here is gonna be 11. Okay, let's continue. There you go. So what if now, sir, we have like variables on both sides, left and right of the equation. Let's say we have here 12x and then 4x. What do we need to do? Okay, so if the case is like that, here's the thing. So you compare them, 12x and then 4x. Which one is smaller? Is it the 12x or the 4x? It's the 4x, right? So I'll just put it here. So 12x minus 10 is equal to 4x minus 58. So what do you do here is you actually just have to transpose the smaller one. The smaller value will be the one to adjust. Okay, so I will transpose the 4x going to the left, because again, our goal here is like we need to put those same terms or like terms together. So all with excess should be on one side, all without excess should be on at one side. So what will happen now? We have here 12x minus 10, and then what will happen to 4x? It will become negative 4x is equal to negative 58. I hope you can follow. We just move the 4x from right going to left. Now, if you will check on the left side, okay, there's, okay, add one out. Which one is different here? It's the 10. Why? Because the 10 don't have any x, okay? What do you do with negative 10? You put it here on the other side. So what will happen now? We have here 12x minus 4x is equal to negative 58. What will happen to negative 10? If you transpose it from left going to right, it will become positive 10. What do you have now? 12x minus 4x is going to be what? 8x is equal to negative 58 plus 10. That's negative 48. Now, let's check the two rules. Okay? Positive. Oops. Positive. And then solo. Is the variable x already positive? Check. Solo. Not yet. What do we need to do? Divide both sides by 8. Why by 8, sir? Because we wanted to remove the 8 here. And what will happen? We have now here x is equal to, okay, negative number divided by positive. Okay, there's only one negative sign. So the answer should be negative. And what is 48 divided by 8? That's going to be 6. So the answer here is x is equal to negative 6. Now again, the variable is already positive and solo. So we're done. Negative 6. I hope so far you can follow. Okay, let's continue. Okay, another example here. So as you can see, the two variables here, the 10x and the negative 4x, are already on the same side. Okay, so minus 3 is equal to 27. So I'll just copy that. So 10x minus 4x is minus 3 is equal to 27. As you can see on the left side, there are two variable x, right? We can actually just combine them directly. Okay, so 10x minus 4x, we can simplify it directly. And it's gonna be what? 6x minus 3 is equal to 27. Now, the two rules. Positive and solo. Okay, is the variable x already positive? Check. Solo? Not yet, because we need to move the negative 3 from left going to right. What will happen now? We have here 6x is equal to, I'll copy the 27. The negative 3 will become positive 3. So you have now 6x is equal to 30. Are we done already? Not yet, because our x is not yet solo. How do we make it solo? We wanted to remove the 6. And how do we do that? Divide that by 6. But again, if you will divide one side by 6, you also divide the other one by 6. So you have now x is equal to 5. And that's your answer. And that's letter B. Okay, I hope you're doing good. Let's continue. Okay, this one. As you can see, 12x and 8x are also on the same side already. I'll just copy. So 12x minus 8x plus 2 is equal to 62. Okay, so we have here, I'll simplify. 12x minus 8x is gonna be 4x. And then plus 2 is equal to 62. There. Check again the two rules. Positive and then solo. Is the variable x already positive? Check. Solo. Not yet. What do? We remove first the 2 from left going to right through transposition. That's gonna be now 4x is equal to 62. The positive 2 from left will become negative 2. This one will become negative 2, right? Okay, so we have now 4x is equal to 62 minus 2, that's 60. Now, sir, how do I make it solo? Because the x is not yet solo, right? Same thing again. We remove the 4 by how? By dividing it with 4. But again, it should be the same side. Now, you can cancel out the 4. You have now x is equal to 60 divided by 4. It's going to be 15. So, the answer here is letter A. Okay? Okay. So, let's continue. So, sir, what about we have this kind of given? There's like already, what do you call this? Parenthesis. Okay? There's like a grouping symbol already. So, if the given is like this, we have to what? We distribute first. I hope you can still recall your distributive law. Okay? So, what will happen here is the 5 is actually going to be distributed to everything or all the values inside the parenthesis. Same thing with 3. Distribute with everyone inside the parenthesis. So, what does it mean? What is 5 times x? It's going to be 5x. What is 5 times 3? That's going to be 15. It's positive 15, right? Plus 4 is equal to, next one. What's 3 times x? That's going to be 3x. What's 3 times 11? That's going to be positive 33, right? Or you can just copy there the plus sign. Or copy there the plus sign. Now, let's continue. Let's just try to combine first like terms. Because, as you can see here on the left side, isn't it that you can combine 15 and 4? Yes, we can combine them. So, we have now 5x plus 19 is equal to 3x plus 33. Now, how do you solve for x? Again, as I mentioned a while ago, if we have variable on both sides, x and then x there, you compare them. Which one is smaller, 5 or 3? Of course, it's 3. Now, what do? You let the smaller value adjust. Okay? So, the tendency here is that I will move the 3x going to the left. That means to say, the 19 cannot stay here because 19 doesn't have any x. Okay? Again, the rule here is that you should put all those with x together and then those without x together. So, the 19 will be on the other side. You have now 5x. Okay. Again, you will transpose the 3x, right? What will happen to 3x? It will become negative 3x. Now, on the right side, we have the 33. I'll just copy the 33. Isn't it that we will move something from left going to right? That's the 19, okay? And 19, it will become negative 19. I hope you can follow that part. Now, you have here 5x minus 3x. That's going to be 2x is equal to 33 minus 19 is going to be what? 14. And then, now let's check again the rules. Two rules. Positive. And then, solo. Is the variable x already positive? Check. Solo. Not yet, because there is still a 2 there. And how do we remove that? Divide by 2 both sides. Cancel the 2. Okay. X is equal to 7. There you go. Okay. I hope you can follow so far. Okay. So I guess the video recording is like taking too long already. The next one is gonna be the last item first. Then we'll have the other part on. We'll have the other part later on. Okay. Next one. Okay. So same thing. We do distribution. So 7 times x, that's gonna be what? 7x. 7 times negative 2, it's gonna be negative 14. Okay? Next, plus 5, I'll just copy that. It's equal to 2 times x, that's gonna be 2x. And then 2 times positive 23, it's gonna be positive 46. I hope you're able to follow. And again, if we can combine some same terms or like terms, you do so. So we have now 7x. Isn't it you can combine negative 14 and then 5? Yes. What's negative 14 plus 5? That's gonna be negative what? Negative 9. Okay? And then is equal to 2x plus 46. Again, I told you a while ago, if we will have two variables or variable on both sides, okay, x on the left, x on the right, you compare their coefficients. When I say coefficients, it's the number before the x, okay? Which one is smaller, 7 or 2? It's the 2, right? What do we do here is we let the smaller value adjust. What will happen now is it's going to be 7x. What will happen to 2x? It will become negative 2x. Sir, what about the 9? The negative 9. Okay, take note. On the left side, we're like gathering here already the excess, right? So, what about the negative 9, sir? So, you throw that one on the other side because it cannot mingle with them. It doesn't have any x, right? So, what will happen here? We have equal sign. I will copy the 46. The negative 9 will become positive 9. So, you have here this time 7x minus 2x. It's gonna be 5x is equal to, what's 46 plus 9? That's gonna be 55. Now, check the rules again. The two rules, positive, and then solo. Is the variable x already positive? Yes. Solo, not yet. What do you need to do? Remove the 5 there. Remove the 5 by dividing both sides with 5. So you have now x is equal to 11. And there you go. Okay. So I hope this one will help you in reviewing for your midterms. Okay. So the part 2, I'll do it later. Okay. Thank you so much.